I've now worked with thousands of people all across the world who are looking to develop a relationship with the divine and understand themselves and deepen their meditation practice. And one of the key things that I've noticed is that so many people are completely overwhelmed with the amount of information that is out there on YouTube and other places. And so people need direction, people need the pure teachings that are actually going to help them to move forward. And this is where this book comes in. Now, I'm a little bit biased because this book was written by my dad, but give me a moment and let me explain the value in this book. So, many of you who have watched my channel for a little while know that my dad and I and a few others were taught by a hidden avatar, which is a divine being who has come to Earth on purpose to help humanity to evolve and expand. Now, this can sound like a really crazy idea and something that's almost like laughable, but there is a living avatar that's on Earth at the moment. So if you were under any kind of thoughts of, well, this just seems completely beyond comprehension, well, there is a well-known avatar on Earth at the moment called Mother Mira. Now, she's public, she's known to many people. Lots of my students have been to see her. I've been to see her, I think about 7 times. She's an amazing lady. But within her books, which primarily have all been written about her by devotees, there aren't actually teachings, there aren't actually many tools and techniques and things that you can apply to your life immediately. Like, she does suggest meditation, she does suggest japa, but she doesn't go into depth on those teachings. And this is where this book comes in. So the beauty of this book is that you know it comes directly from a divine being. The methods, the tools, the techniques are elaborated on in great depth. And so if you're someone who is looking to learn more about meditation, or perhaps you've hit a bit of a plateau with your practice, perhaps you've recently awakened and you're trying to find some direction of where to go now, and you're going down different avenues and people are contradicting each other and nothing feels quite right to you, this is well worth a read because it will give you complete clarity on what the end goal is all about, how to actually get there step by step. And it's not just some far-fetched idea that's really hard to implement in a realistic modern day life. It's very much grounded and written by a person who has lived a normal daily life and had kids and had a family and had to work. So it's all there and designed to be weaved around a busy daily life as a householder. Now, a few months back, I also suggested this book, which is an incredible read. It's called The Final Great Path East. It was written by a good friend of mine called James, and he's a best friend of my dad, in fact. He was also taught by our teacher. So his book is a kind of memoir. A lot of the book is about stories and some of the teachings he shared, but many of it is his direct interactions with our teacher. It's only when you get to the end of the book where he starts elaborating on meditation and he talks about mantra and things like this. But my dad's book is very much more about the actual application and the practical ins and outs of meditation. So he goes into great depth on different techniques. There's a list of mantras. So if you've ever wondered about repeating a mantra, if you're not sure what a mantra is, then you will learn in this book. All of the avatars at the moment, Mother Mira, my teacher, all of the great beings of the past have all suggested that japa, or the repetition of a divine name or a divine sound, is the fastest and safest way to realize the divine in this current age. Now, that is a huge statement, and many people overlook that and they want, more and more knowledge. No, just learn how to mantra. Just learn a mantra that works for you. And you might be thinking, well, how do I do that? Well, in this book, my dad lists 8 mantras, explains exactly how to pronounce them, and the pronunciations come from the divine. They've come from our teacher. So it's not just some human being who thinks this is the right way of doing it. No, it's come literally from the divine. So you know the pronunciations are correct. And you can pick a mantra that suits you. And the beauty of this book and the beauty of this teaching is that if you go to many lineages of meditation, you'll get 1 or 2 techniques and you'll get given a way of meditating that is very specific, and there will be very little leeway within that practice. Well, my teacher's approach is quite different. He presents lots of different methods of meditation, lots of different ways of sitting, different ways of doing the whole practice so that you can customize it so it's exactly correct for you, for your mind, for your belief system. And when you do that, that's when you really start to make progress because it's perfect for you at that point. But it's not just about how to meditate and how to mantra. He goes into things like how to create a meditation space. There's also teachings on Qigong, which is an ancient Chinese method of breathing and cultivating more qi, all of which is helpful for us from a physical standpoint, but also a spiritual standpoint. He explains the ins and outs of prayer, actually how to pray, Many people join my online school and naturally they're like, I get prayer, but I don't actually know how to do it. Well, my dad breaks down how to pray. He gives you advice on different prayers that you can do or personal prayers that you can create. And another beautiful aspect of this book is it's not just a checklist of things that you need to do. Weaved within it are beautiful quotes and inspiring messages from some of which come from my teacher, some of which come from other amazing teachers of the past. So this one came from my teacher. Faith is required, as only through it may we become one with creation itself. This one comes from another person. The function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays. So, the understanding around prayer, because many people think, well, why should I pray if I'm already the divine? Does that not mean that I'm praying to myself? And people get confused with how prayer works, with how meditation works. And this book will give you more clarity on why we pray, why we meditate. Even if we've got the divine within us, if we are actually one with the divine already, why do we do these practices? Well, it's all laid out and explained in depth within the book. Another aspect of the book that I think many people will really value is the explanation of certain experiences that many people have in meditation. Now, I elaborate on some of these on this channel, but my dad explains here why people experience heat, why people experience sweating, why people feel tingling around the third eye or around the top of the head, why people have that halo effect around the top of the head, why people have the sensation of headaches or a pulsating, headaches in general, why you have the buildup of saliva, why you see certain things, why you have spontaneous movements in the body. He elaborates on many, many experiences that people have and explains them. And again, these aren't just his beliefs around what these experiences actually mean. These have come directly from our teacher. So it's the truth. And I think you will really benefit from this book if you're someone who is looking to progress in a genuine way and you're willing to put in the work. I mean, the title says it all, The Quiet Labor. This isn't a magic wand. This isn't a book that you just read and all of a sudden your problems are resolved. But this book gives you clarity on the next steps and how to take those steps. So this book is really for someone who's ready to put in the work. And if you're ready to put in the work, then I will leave a link in the description to this book. Feel free to check it out. And if you want more support, if you want the guidance of a teacher, or if you want the support of a community, you want videos that elaborate in more depth on some of these teachings and other teachings, I'm still being guided myself on a one-to-one basis by my teacher who's giving me more and more information all the time. And as I'm learning it and as I'm digesting it, I'm adding it to my school, implementing it into the lessons that I'm teaching. And so it's very much an evolving process. If you want to be part of that process, feel free to check out my online school. I'll leave a link in the description below. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.